avoid ending up with additional students out or staff out on quarantine due to density in a classroom. So what we'd look at is, again, we're going to make this transfer tonight upon the board's approval. That purchase is being made. The company knows already. We're looking to get those pieces in around the 19th of November. We'd hope to get them placed perhaps that weekend if we can. So we'd have people back on the 23rd. That might actually be a good little start for us because it'd only be a couple days before the Thanksgiving break. And then we'd have kids back in right after that Thanksgiving break. And if, again, after I feel like a week or so of seeing that we're okay, so to speak, that people are comfortable and that we're able to move forward, we would look at that next phase of bringing in, we had talked about bringing in our senior students. And we can look to do that either, again, mid to late December, or if we're at the holidays, we probably wait till January 1 and bring in that next group. And we continue to look to do that. Just be smart about it, be cautious about it, but continue to progress.
Any other questions? There are no visitors for the agenda part of it, so we'll wait till the end for that. Letter F is the approval of minutes for the October 21st, 2020 meeting. Can I please have a motion? Meredith, second by Bill. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Number 3 is business items, consent agenda A through B. Can I please have a motion? Motion by Rob, seconded by Meredith. Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Letter 4 is personnel, teachers, consent agenda A through P. Can I please have a motion? Motion by Bill, seconded by Rob. Any questions? Sure.
Jump in here 1 second, please, Kristen.
Good evening. During tonight's agenda under the personnel for staff for teachers, we have Susan Marone, who's retired from the Seneca family. We want to take a few moments to share some tidbits that were part of recognizing who she is as a person, as a dedicated staff member to the Sagem family. She has been known to tirelessly take care of the happiness for her health and her family. She's looking forward to retirement and to be assisting her son and her daughter-in-law in renovating their new home, which is less than a mile away from her own home, which is lucky for them because of, from what I've understood, she has impeccable taste if you've ever been to her home. So that's a good thing for them. She loves exploring walks and going on hikes with her family and her dog Riley. Apparently she's known as an advocate for color coding and organizing in her school. So that's a little tidbit that some of her coworkers have shared. We wish her all the best. We thank her for all her time and dedication to the students and to Seneca and to the Sagem family, and all the best in her retirement.
All in favor on that motion? Opposed? Motion is carried. Letter 5 is personnel, consent agenda A through B for administrator. Can I please have a motion? Motion by Rob, seconded by Meredith. Any questions or discussion?
If you don't mind, I'd like to jump in and just explain a little bit about this memorandum of agreement, this MOA with the Sagem Administrators Association. There has come a time, and as I've mentioned here, that it seems our staff almost works for the Department of Health when it comes to contact tracing. And this is an example of that, where we put together an agreement with the administrators for those times on those non-instructional days, weekends, or holidays when we really need out of necessity to have them work days for us to do contact tracing. That's what this is about.
Terrific. Any other questions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried. Number 6, personnel, consent agenda A through G. Can I please have a motion? Motion by Rob, seconded by Sarah. Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Letter 7 is contracts, consent agenda A through L. Can I please have a motion? Motion by Sarah, seconded by Rob. Any questions? Yep.
Yeah, and Johnny, this question is more for you. The the sports video stuff, in the contract, it says that it's going to videotape X number of games for both high school, East and North. This is just an allocation of money for them to do that. If we don't have those sports, are we obligated to pay them?
Correct. Yeah, it's done completely on an invoice basis. So if the allotment of 10 filmings per sport per school doesn't occur, we would not be paying them for that.
Thank you.
John, I actually had a question about the video too. I know that we changed it all to 10 across the board today.
Well, no, it had always been 10, but the way that it was written in one of the documents, it wasn't clear, so we had them clarify the language. It said 20 games for football/lacrosse. The meaning was it was for 10 each, but it wasn't spelled out clearly. So to make it clear for everyone, we just made them delineate each of the bullets to be 10 per sport.
All right. So let's just say for boys and girls basketball, it says 10 games. Is one of these companies for North and one of them for East?
Typically, yes, but they'll cover for one another, from what I understand.
Is there a way? I mean, I have no problem approving it for this year. I think that the schedules have changed a bit and they've modified it. It came out the other day that there's going to be 12 games if hopefully there's a season. But to be more uniform across the board, I'd like to at least look at if, football has a full season being paid for 8 games plus 2 for playoffs. Basketball has 20 regular season games, so we're paying for 100% of football, but we're paying for 50% of basketball, and then other sports down the line. So if that's something that maybe we can look at going into next year or even this year, because it's going to be 12 for basketball, it's going to be 6 or 7 for football.
Yeah,
Do it as far as full regular season.
Yeah, the
so that
amount that's
it's-
here is what was budgeted in the 2021 budget.
Yeah, so
I mean, certainly,
as we
I
move
guess
forward.
it would probably be better to speak to Mr. Butel to determine what the need might be, or if there is even a request, for that much videotaping of every single game. I don't know if they need that much film.
I could say that we film every single game, and practices and playoffs, and I would say that if it was offered for teams, if we can maybe just look at it moving forward for next year.
Yeah, maybe I'll
to see.
meet with Ms. Trombetta and we can speak to Mr. Butel and look into that.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Number 8 in the middle of page 15 is an action item. It's an approval of retention and disposition schedule for New York local government records. Can I please have a motion? Motion by Rob, seconded by Bill. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Number 9 is a donation from the Winona Elementary School PTA. Can I please have a motion? Motion by Meredith, seconded by Rob. Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Number 7 is the budget transfer that Dr. Pelletieri spoke about earlier. Can I please have a motion? Motion by Meredith, second by Bill. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Yes, number 10. I'm sorry, I didn't say 10. Number 11 is the Committee on Special Education, Consent Agenda A through B. Can I please have a motion? Motion by Meredith, seconded by Bill. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Number 12 is Board Committees. Does anyone have any updates?
Number 12 is actually to approve 2 new members.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It cut off onto a second page. I apologize. It's number A, it's appointment of board committee members. Can I please have a motion? Motion by Bill, seconded by Meredith. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Sorry about that. Thank you, Allison. Number 13 is the second reading and adoption of policy. Can I please have a motion? Motion by Sarah, seconded by Meredith. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Number 14th is monthly reports for board committees. Any updates? I know there was a meeting tonight. Is there any update on any of the meetings that happened tonight? No.
We had our first meeting tonight at the Diversity Task Force, and it went really well, and I'm looking forward to moving forward. If Jim wants to add anything, that would be great.
I was just going to say that we're going to have if I'm right, Patty, November 10th, the Health and Safety Committee meeting, and right after that will be the district-wide safety team. We'll meet immediately after that committee meeting, right? Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Jim. Anyone else? The second public comment is for non-agenda items. We have one speaker, Mark Wojciechowski. And Lori Pritchard.
Thank you. Okay. Good evening, Dr. Pelletieri, cabinet members, and the Sachem Board of Education. This is Mark Wojciechowski, Sachem East social studies teacher, and I'm Lori Pritchett, Sagamore Middle School English teacher, both SCTA vice presidents representing over 1,300 teachers, teaching assistants, and aides of the Sachem School District.
Tonight, we would like to take a moment to honor those ordinary people who have done something extraordinary so that we may all enjoy the freedom we treasure today. In November of 1919, Woodrow Wilson proclaimed November 11th as the first commemoration of Armistice Day with the following words: "To us in America, the reflections of Armistice Day will be filled with solemn pride in the heroism of those who died in the country's service, and with gratitude for the victory, both because of the thing from which it has freed us and because of the opportunity it has given America to show her sympathy with peace and justice in the Council of the Nations."
There are several members of our own Sachem family who have served our country. These veterans who live and work among us now serve the Sachem community in a variety of different capacities, including teachers, teaching assistants, bus drivers, and facility employees. As a special thank you, the Sachem Central Teachers Association will individually honor each of our special veterans this year across our social media sites over the next week leading up to Veterans Day. You can check that out on Facebook, Instagram at We Are at the SCTA, and Twitter at Sachem CTA.
Our first honoree is Sachem Board of Education member Matthew Bauman, who served our country in the United States Army. A tremendous thank you to all who have served our country, especially those throughout the Sachem community. Your service will never be forgotten. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. There are no board discussions on tonight. Does anyone have any future discussion items? Meredith?
I'd like us to take a look at the fact that each high school only has one social worker. And I just feel like in any given year, that's not great. In a pandemic year, these kids really need a lot more social and emotional help. I know because I happened to be speaking to the Sachem North social worker the other day, and she's just inundated with work. She can't actually be a social worker because she's spending too much time on paperwork. And that's a real problem. So I think we need to start looking into maybe there's, maybe we don't have to hire a full-time extra social worker, but maybe there's like a temp agency for, I don't know how that works, but maybe there's a temp agency for social workers and we can bring somebody in on a temporary basis. I don't know how these things work, but I'm always ready with ideas.
Thank you, Meredith. Anyone else? Yeah, please.
I guess, Dr. Pelletieri, we had a discussion not too long ago about possibly looking at returning some of our students to high school level where they deemed that there was a room possibly to bring additional students back. If we can continue that conversation and maybe hear your findings as to the feasibility of being able to do that. Right now, our 11th and 12th graders, especially that are taking AP exams and preparing for college level testing, it's very difficult for them right now to be able to teach themselves the AP material. So I'd like, if possible, if the board is in agreement, maybe to discuss that possible, further to see what the feasibility is.
We'll have, by our next meeting, we will at least have on order, maybe we'll even have the new items in, and that'll be, give us some sense about timeline. We won't have lived it yet, though, but we certainly can continue to look at that.
Anyone else? Our next regular meeting of the Board of Education will be Wednesday, November 18th, 2020 at 7:30, right here in the boardroom. And that is it. Can I have a motion to adjourn? I don't need one. Second by Bill. All in favor? Good night, everyone.
Wow.
Take it while you can get it. November 18th, it said, I think.